So do it one more time. He said, well, I'm not doing it any more times. I'm hungry. I said, okay, we can eat in a minute. Do it one more time. Let's get it done. Come on. No, I want to eat now. So I was like, okay, can we get a banana, please, for Harrison? So Harrison sat in the producer's chair, eating a banana extremely slowly. That was one of the most expensive bananas ever consumed. Tens of thousands of dollars were wasted while he sat there eating this banana.
Welcome, friends and fans, to another edition of GalaxyCon Live, where we are going back to Gringotts, Ashton Ridge, the galaxy far, far away, and much more locations with an extraordinary family of actors. So without further ado, let's bring out today's guests. Our first guest is an actor and gamer whose credits include Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Dwarves Assemble, and the role of Ewok Pommet Warwick in Star Wars Episode 9. Please welcome Harrison Davis.
Hello.
Hello, Harrison. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am doing well on my side of the world. How are things on yours?
Yeah, going good over here in England. Yeah.
I'm in Florida, so I've met many of your countrymen over here on holiday.
Oh yeah, cool. Nice place over there.
So Harrison, real quick, I know you are an avid gamer. Curiosity, is anything that you're playing right now that you're really into?
I'm mainly playing a lot of FIFA at the moment. Yeah. I like the football, yeah.
Okay, awesome. And you have a YouTube channel. Are you going to be revisiting that anytime soon?
Yeah, I've got a few videos lined up for that. I've sort of been off and on it, but I'm hoping to restart uploading on that again, yeah.
Awesome. Well, absolutely looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll talk a little bit more about that. So in the meantime, let's bring out your sister. She is an actress whose credits include an award-winning role in The Dumping Ground, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, and roles in Star Wars Episode 9. Please welcome Annabelle Davis.
Hiya, you're right. Hello.
Hey, Annabelle, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am doing well on my side of the world. How are you doing?
Not bad. Currently filming The Dumping Ground. Which is going well, but yeah.
It's I don't think it's quite going to count on yet, but over the past couple months, I have met American fans of Dumping Ground. I've recently just discovered it, cool. And I think it might be something that might catch on over on our side of the pond. And
yeah, I think you can get it on YouTube and stuff, but it's a little bit hard to get it over there, I think. But that's pretty cool.
No, yeah, it absolutely is, and a wonderful concept. It really is. I've caught a few episodes in the past couple months, and I was like, why isn't this brought over here? Why is this? I just a great cast, and you really shine in it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to do. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, indeed. And speaking of a lot of fun, let's bring out your dad. He is an actor and producer whose body of work includes such film series as the Leprechaun series, the Harry Potter series, Willow, of course, and a plenitude of Star Wars characters throughout the franchise's entire history, going back to Return of the Jedi. Please welcome back Warwick Davis.
Thank you very much, Paddy. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, boss. Great to see you again. How you been doing?
I've been doing okay, thank you. Very well. Yeah, pretty busy considering we're in lockdown here. I'm still keeping very busy.
Obviously true. So I've read some articles. I haven't seen too much follow-up, but Willow may be back in the cards in the future.
Well, you know what? With all of these things, I'm sworn to secrecy, so I can't really talk at all about that. But needless to say, people who are fans of Willow should be very excited right now.
And that I will leave it at that, and we look forward to more information as is allowed to be discussed. But again, absolutely though, just like you said, you are one of the hardest working fellows in the entertainment industry, and again, you've been on the pulse and a representative of the Star Wars franchise, and of course, you are a fantastic panel host and moderator in your own right.
Yeah, I miss doing that. You know, since there have been no real events, I've really missed being on stage in front of the audience. So it's really nice to virtually be there this afternoon as well here in the UK. It's fabulous. And also joining me, the rest of my family here as well, which is great.
I know, this is absolutely wonderful. So, and speaking of our physical conventions, yes, all of us here at GalaxyCon are looking forward to the day when we can host talented guests such as yourselves on our physical stages and get you back in front of your fans. And maybe we can see the light at the collective tunnel on that. And
Absolutely.
but in the meantime, we have the GalaxyCon virtual stage. So glad to have you all here.
Thank you very much, Patty. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Absolutely. So our team is going to the chat room right now, pulling out the questions. In the meantime, I would just, instead of going straight to the Star Wars stuff, I'd love to talk about your collective Harry Potter experiences, and especially Harrison and the banana.
He doesn't like talking about this, but you know, the kids were introduced to Harry Potter from a very young age, because when Harrison was born, I was working on the movies, so both of them more or less grew up on the set of Harry Potter. They'd visit after school most days. Annabelle had her 13th birthday on set.
Yep.
Tell the story about that, Annabelle.
Yeah,
it was literally the only Sunday I ever worked on the movies, and it coincided with Annabelle's birthday. So I said, would you allow her to come and visit that day? And I said, yeah, sure, yeah. We'll be filming a scene in the Great Hall that day, so she can come in.
Great.
You take over,
pretty
Emma.
cool. I really enjoyed it. We spent the first sort of morning in your trailer where I got a couple of presents, and then they said, "Oh, do you want to come on set?" So we came, like, watched the take of the scene, and then came out into the Great Hall, and then they brought out a Colin the Caterpillar cake, which is my favourite. And then everyone sang happy birthday to me, including Alan Rickman, and it was totally surreal. And then they did the golden board of that week. So if you watch in the special features of the last film, on one of the golden boards, they're very quick. One of them is my 13th birthday.
Yeah. So can you imagine Alan Rickman dressed as Snape singing "Happy Birthday"?
I can, but I don't want to create a new obsession. I got too many. What a wonderful memory! Wow.
Yeah.
So Harrison was brought into the franchise at a very young age. He played the part of a goblin along with Annabelle. If you watch Deathly Hallows Part 2, the first time we see Gringotts in that movie, there's a wide establishing shot of the bank, and across the middle of the hall walk two goblins towing a cart full of gold. And one of those was Harrison, one was Annabelle. So Harrison had, instead of a prosthetic makeup, a mask, slip-over mask on, because he was so young.
Yeah.
And so he did several takes. As you do with these things, you have to do it over and over, and he couldn't understand why we had to keep doing it again. I said, well, they've got to get it right, Harrison. That's why. So do it one more time. He said, well, I'm not doing it any more times. I'm hungry. I said, okay, we can eat in a minute. Do it one more time. Let's get it done. Come on. No, I want to eat now. So I was like, okay, can we get a banana, please, for Harrison? So Harrison sat in the producer's chair, eating a banana extremely slowly. That was one of the most expensive bananas ever consumed. Tens of thousands of dollars were wasted while he sat there eating this banana. The producer tapping his foot by the chair, looking at Harrison like, okay, we finished, yeah? Can we carry on? So off we went, and we did an amazing take, and they wrapped the scene just after that. So that is the famous banana story of Harry Potter.
Banana story, Harry Potter. Well, I again, at 6 years old, you're a trooper, nevertheless, and just having to put a big giant head, at least it wasn't prosthetics or whatever, which would have.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know who he takes after though. I've never sat there and said I'm not doing any more filming until I eat.
It seemed like a banana help though if I did it straight after.
Exactly. Yeah, you got it right after that.
I
was about to say one take after, boom, does. So,
so if you're lucky enough to come over to the UK and go to the studio tour in London, you'll look out for Harrison and Annabelle's makeups, or their slip-over masks are actually on display in the exhibit there.
Very nice. Very nice. So, and of course, another part of the family business, of course, has been the association with Star Wars, and you've all taken part in that. Warwick, of course, goes back, but Annabelle, I'd love to hear about your Star Wars experience.
So I got called in for a fitting for episode 7, which I'm really excited for. And I played, on set they were known as the Minions, but the character named Thomba, and there were two of them, these cosmetic surgeons. But I got to say, I'm so glad beforehand that sort of gave me a little pep talk about how to cope with a hot head, because it's just so hot. You can't really imagine it until you're in it, and I was like, oh my days. But it was really, really fun. And then I was lucky enough to work with Dad again then on Solo, where we both took it in turn to be inside one of the fighting robots. And when one time when I was in, Dad was then controlling the animatronics and stuff going on outside. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Well, the handy thing is Annabelle is a similar height to me, so she fits in all of my costumes. On Solo, I had so many different roles. They hadn't actually realized some of the characters appeared in the same scene at the same time, so I couldn't play all of them at the same time. So Annabelle jumped in. I could give her a quick pep talk about how to play the character, and then she was able to double me perfectly. She even doubled me as Weasel as well on the back of the swoop bikes in Solo.
Yeah, that was really fun. Never done anything like that.
Most people in the world have never done anything. Can say they played a creature on a speeder bike or been a part of the Star Wars universe. So that
was a lot of fun.
That's miraculous, and that's a wonderful thing. Yeah. Oh wait, we have two Warwick's characters at the same time.
Yeah, that's what it was like. Yeah.
Yeah.
And fortunately for Harrison, before Star Wars kind of finished, J.J. Abrams came up with this idea of having Wicket back in the movie, and thought it'd be so nice to have an offspring of Wicket, namely Pommet Warwick, and he should be played by Harrison, which was a lovely idea as well.
Yeah.
So Harrison got to experience what it was like to be sautéed live inside a Ewok costume. They're very hot, aren't they, Harrison?
Yeah. It got to the point where I couldn't really see anymore.
Now, you fell over a few times, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, gracious. Well, that was... again, there's so many key scenes in that film that JJ put on in, and again, I think everybody in the theater lost their spine. It's like, it's Wicket. Oh, he's got a kid. That's wonderful. Yeah, that was really great.
Nice. If you check out the extra features from Rise of Skywalker, there's a lovely little documentary about kind of me and Harrison kind of preparing for the roles.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, Harrison, what was your reaction to you were gonna play Pommet? How was that? What was that like?
I remember it was like August sometime, and I remember Dad coming up to me and was like, "How do you feel to be in Star Wars?" And I don't think we knew what the role was at that point, but like Dad was like, "Do you want to be in Star Wars?" And I know I just felt really excited to be able to be part of a project that is so big around the world.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So probably more for Harrison and Annabelle, but what's it like to what was it like growing up, seeing your father in all these feature films and maybe going to the events and stuff, and what's it like being joining the family business?
I don't know. I think as a kid, I didn't really associate him with being sort of famous, Warwick Davis. He was just dad. But we're always really grateful. Like going to all the events was always a lot of fun. But then even sometimes, like to be honest, it was only the other day I was watching sort of a clip out of Harry Potter for some reason. It came up. I'm like, oh wow, you're really good. As a kid, I don't think I associated him as the same person on screen. Like, I knew it, but it's only now when I've been fortunate to do work myself, I kind of get it, and now I'm like, oh wow, I really understand what he's working with. Whereas, so I'd go and visit him at work, and he'd have the goblin face on. But to me, it was almost normal. It was just like, oh okay, Dad's sort of dressed up again. But no, it was a really cool world to grow up in, and yeah, I'm really lucky to sort of be having a go at it myself as well.
Outstanding. How about you, Harrison?
I mean, yeah, the same as about it. Sort of growing up, I would always see Dad go off to do these things, but I never really understood what it was he was really doing. And then it's like, I would see the film after, like, I remember when I watched Willow the first few times, the bit where Dad's, like, getting attacked by the massive troll from the castle, I used to, for some reason, think if he was being hurt, and then I would run through to Dad in the house, being like, you're being attacked on Willow. I didn't seem to understand the fact that he was there, but it was a film. It was weird.
Warwick, you must be very proud.
Oh, I am indeed. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I didn't push them into becoming actors because I know what a challenging career it can be. You know, sometimes you go periods without there being any work. You know, I count myself extremely lucky to be working most of the time. So, and it's not like that for every actor, I know for a fact. So I didn't push them into this. They decided this is what they want to do. And I believe in life, you should always follow your dreams and what your passion is. And if you want to do something, just go for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of going for it, looks like we are good to go on our audience questions. So thank you for entertaining mine, and let's entertain some of our audiences.
Very cool.
And all right, this first one comes from Dylan, and they want to know, what is each of your dream roles in a movie or TV series?
Hey, Dylan, thanks for this question. For me, I'd love to play a detective of some sort. I'm a big fan of the series Columbo. I don't think I'll have the cigar, though, but I'd love to be some sort of detective, sleuth kind of character. Maybe even a James Bond character with lots of gadgets and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
That works.
Yeah.
That works. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Sherlock, so that kind of a character is really cool as well. But actually, personally, like right now, Stranger Things is so cool. Just anything in Stranger Things, just to be in that world would be amazing. So.
There's no reason why there couldn't be another warp opening over in the UK and another group of kids that run afoul of it.
No.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I actually don't like being upside down. All the blood goes to my head. So.
So, Harrison, you have a dream role you'd like to tackle?
Well, I'm quite a fan of the Kingsman series, so I think to be coming apart from that would be really good. Like, I know I find them films really fun to watch, so yeah, I think maybe a villain in that.
Very good. Yeah, those are very fun based on Mark Millar. And Dylan, thank you. Great question to start us off with. What do we have next? And here's one from Maggie. Did you keep any props from any of the film sets that you have worked on?
Thanks for this, Maggie. Yeah, I'm going to rummage back here a second when I answer this question. Guys,
Okay.
you take over while I'm looking for something.
Well, when I was younger, Dad actually smuggled something off the set for me. When the Ministry of Magic set, he took a packet of sugar. So I've got a Ministry of Magic sugar packet. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Yeah, they were all custom made for the movie because there was
They're
like
really
a
cool.
coffee stand in the Ministry of Magic. That's where they
Yeah,
were.
that's right.
You shouldn't have said that, Annabelle. I'll get into trouble now. But this here is a real Gringotts galleon. So this is in fact Annabelle's, and it was given to Annabelle by one of the producers. So it's a legitimate. We legitimately own this. And,
Yes.
So this was a real coin. It was minted by an actual coin mint in the UK for the film. So it's very heavy, and it's a really lovely piece to have. Actually, yeah, the real Gringotts galleon there.
Very nice.
Very cool.
Very nice indeed. Harrison, were you able to come into possession? That's how I usually pose the question of anything from what you worked on.
I don't believe I have anything, to be honest. And like Star Wars was also top secret. They wouldn't let you have anything. And yeah, and Harry Potter, it's the same. We've only got the Gringotts galleon.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything personally.
So Maggie, a couple of other things I've got. I have the wand from Willow in a frame. So my
Really?
original wand from Willow I have, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
Which is in fact made of fiberglass. They found a real twig that looked like that, and then they cast it and molded several duplicates out of fiberglass, which were the ones we used for the actual production. I would have loved my Professor Flitwick wand to go along with my Willow wand to make my wand collection complete, but nonetheless, as Harrison says, it was all kept very out the way, and we weren't gifted anything at the end of the filming like that.
Do you have a reproduction of your Potter wand?
Yes, I do indeed. Yes, I wave it daily.
Now, indeed, I'm looking forward to the day where any of you will be able to say in a future project, I kept my lightsaber.
I know. I'm still after that role. Every time they talk to me about a new Star Wars movie or part of the series, I say, well, this time do I get a lightsaber? I mean, I was delighted in Rogue One when for the first time, I get to hold a weapon. I had a blaster in that. So that's really fun. The day the props department come to you and they say, okay, come in this room here. There's a table, and on it are several weapons laid out. And they say, choose your weapon. And I picked the very biggest gun that was there. And, yeah, it was a lot of fun to finally get to hold a Star Wars blaster. And do you remember the one I had in Solo as Weasel? It was huge. It was like a bazooka that I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big.
But I
Yeah.
remember having to hold that on top of the bike. I was like,
crazy,
Dad,
isn't
why did you choose this one?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he can.
One day the lightsaber. One day the lightsaber. I'm ready for it. Look, you have to make the noise though, don't you?
Wonderful. And Maggie, thank you. That was a great question. What do we have next? And here's one from Emily. What was the biggest challenge that you have each faced in your careers?
Well, that's deep, Emily. Thank you. The biggest challenge we faced in our career. I mean, some roles are more challenging than others. For me, the most challenging role that I had was the physically challenging role of Marvin, the paranoid android in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, merely because the costume was so heavy and so difficult to operate. I couldn't see anything. The only vision I had was 2 screens inside the head where I could see a view from a camera that was mounted between the eyes of Marvin and also a view from the film camera that was transmitted into me.
Yeah.
But the costume weighed 2/3 my own body weight, so I had to lift that as I walked around and say dialogue at the same time. So yeah, for me that was a real challenge. A job that I thought was going to be quite easy turned out to be one of the most challenging and difficult ones.
Yeah, that just the gargantuan bulbous head and just
It
And when they were
like-
making the costume, it just kept getting bigger and bigger. Because they said, well, in the book, it's a brain the size of a planet. But I said, well, not literally. We're nearly there now.
It's like it was kind of a metaphor. It was Marvin was bragging and okay, costumers.
I love the days.
What about you, H? Was it playing Pommet? Was that challenging or?
Yeah, I think so. Like, and then it was, I remember a very quite a heavy costume to to lift, and then also the longer you were in it, the hotter it would get, and then sort of you start to sweat, and then the vision will suddenly start to become worse because of the sweat and the moisture inside is just becoming a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was the most challenging out of mine so far.
And I think for me, it was probably the robot that me and Dad had. I hadn't been used to lifting something so heavy. Nowhere near on the scale of Marvin, but for me, physically, I don't know, it was a pretty heavy robot, that one, wasn't it, Dad? And I just
Yeah,
not
it was.
used to sort of working in something like that. But still, it was really cool. Still had a lot of fun with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's nice. Emily, thank you. Wonderful question. What's next? Here's one from Emily. Maybe the same Emily, maybe a different Emily. If you weren't actors, what career do you think you'd have?
I think I like doing art anyway. I'm an artist on the side, so I sort of paint in between bits. So I'd probably do that full time.
What type of painting?
Well, sort of anything, watercolors, oils at the moment, and just sort of a lot of animals. So yeah, I sell prints at the moment, and
Why don't you direct Emily to your website, Annabelle, where she can see some?
I have a website. It's called annabelledavis.co.uk, and there's sort of little pin badges that I design and then print, and then original pieces of art as well on there.
And she ships all over the world.
Thank you.
You owe me the commission on that plug. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's excellent. So, Harrison, how about you? What do you?
I have a massive interest in the police, just generally, and it's something that I sort of want to get into when I get older, maybe on the side of acting as well. I've always been fascinated with it since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like law enforcement, don't you?
Yeah.
Harrison would never do anything wrong. I always feel guilty when we go out because he points out everything I'm doing wrong.
Right. Annabelle Davis, okay.
Nice one. So yeah, Emily, for me, I would have probably done something artistic as well. I enjoy graphic arts, and I do a lot of video editing work now. But I think that's as a result of being an actor and being within that world. But yeah, I enjoy kind of artistic things. So who knows if I hadn't been an actor, what I would be doing. My dad was an insurance man, which was quite a dull job. He didn't seem to enjoy it very much. So I wouldn't have wanted to follow in his footsteps. Entertainment industry is far more exciting.
Certainly more than insurance. We can agree with that.
Yeah.
Emily, thank you very much. Great one. And here's one from Nick. Do you have any fun behind the scenes stories from filming Harry Potter?
We've done the banana story.
Yeah.
That was a fun story, that one. Let's think. Okay, on the very last day of filming all of the movies, I was fortunate enough to be on set filming one of my last scenes as Grip Hook. And that day, Rupert Grint brought in an ice cream van. He collects very strange things, and he's a collector. He has an ice cream van, which actually still works. And on that day, he thought it'd be lovely if he made everyone on the crew ice cream. So I've got a memory of him and Emma Watson inside this ice cream van, working the machine, and it not producing proper ice cream. It was just like a liquid kind of came out instead. It was very runny ice cream. And trying to serve this and getting it all over them and all over the ice cream van. It was a mess. So they wanted to cheer everyone up and serve ice cream, but it just didn't work out.
Here's your here's a sweet glop for you. There you go.
Exactly. They need a freezing charm to make it work.
I was about to say, I'm sure in the wizarding world you could have justified it as some kind of delicacy.
Yes, exactly. Glacio, whatever. I forget what this charm is now. Yeah. I don't think there is one.
Yes, indeed. So Annabelle Harrison, any interesting stories from anything that you've worked on that you could recall?
I don't know. There's loads of on dumping ground. I trip over a lot. There's a lot of just stupid ones like that. But apart from that, not really. Oh, when me and Dad shared the part of the fighting robot, they'd always come in with Ribena to sort of help us do another take. I never liked Ribena so much.
Yeah, I never got any Ribena. How come you got Ribena when you were in that suit?
Well,
I was lucky if I got water.
They put the little stick down and they'd be like, "You want some Ribena?" No. So yeah, that was great. Apart from that, no, not really.
No, it's all good. that means theoretically things went smoothly.
I guess so, yeah.
Most of these stories all come from a mishap of some kind. So
yeah.
Yes, indeed. Harrison, anything interesting from or anything maybe from your YouTube videos that you've shot? I remember I saw the one where you were trying to eat the digestive biscuit off your forehead. that was amusing.
Yeah, not sure. I'm thinking about the banana one. Oh.
Well, I always embarrass Harrison when I take part in his YouTube videos because I play like the naive dad who doesn't know anything about gaming at all. I'm absolutely useless at it. I mean, Space Invaders is about my limit, and I even get confused with that now.
It's brilliant. You check it out. There's a video where they're both playing Lego Star Wars, and it is really fun.
Yeah, I love doing all the voices as well.
Yeah. And Dad will make the sound effects as he's shooting, but it's like the game does it for you, Dad.
But you can't help yourself, can you? Go do do do.
The pew pew pew, indeed. So, Nick, thank you. Very fun one. Hey, what do we have next? Hey, here's one from Matthew. If you could spend a day living in the Star Wars universe, where would you go, and what would you do?
Matthew, that's a really great question, and it's just started my imagination going. You know what? I'd love to walk around the Death Star.
Oh.
Like sneak around, like the rebels did, kind of sneak around there. Maybe put on a stormtrooper outfit to blend in and have everyone say to me, guess what? Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper? I'd soon get tired of that one, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So yeah, sneaking around there, maybe jump in a shuttlecraft, steal that. That'll be fun.
Nice.
Where else? I mean, I've been to Endor. I've done that. Been there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd kind of like to go there.
Been to Tatooine as well. Done Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I need to add up sometime all the places I've been in the Star Wars galaxy, don't I?
Yeah, sure.
That'd be a long list.
What was it in Rogue One? Where were we in? Was it Jeddah? That planet was that what that was called? I should never do my thinking out loud on a panel. I regret that in the past. All the fans are like, "Oh my god, he's getting it wrong."
Oh no, trust me. I'm sure they're correcting it. So I'll ask our producer if they have the answer. Feel better roll it.
But yeah, loads of different planets I've been on, loads of places. I mean, I don't actually know what planet I'm on right now, to be honest.
Wow.
So, Harrison, where would you go in the Star Wars universe?
Oh, sure. Tatooine seems quite a fun place. Like where I think that's where they did the pod racing, and then that just seems
Yeah.
like a fun atmosphere to be around when that.
It's a bit hot. It's a bit hot though. You need twice the amount of sunscreen because there's 2 suns.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So you get a tan from every angle.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the place for me then.
Yeah, you love the sun, don't you?
No, I'd like to visit Endor because I feel like you two have been there. I still haven't been, so maybe I want to go and see the little sort of tree houses and something like that.
But Matthew, I don't know whether you've had the chance yet to go to Galaxy's Edge. I mean, that is the closest you can get to actually being in a Star Wars movie and kind of experiencing what it would be like to go to the Star Wars galaxy. It is incredible.
Really, really
Yeah, even though I'm in the movies, I was completely spellbound by the whole experience.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I as an amusement park employee in the Orlando area, I help out occasionally at Galaxy's Edge, and I'll leave it at that. But as for myself, I would like to go to Naboo because that looks, when it's not being invaded, it looks very placid and relaxing.
Yeah, as long as it's not being invaded, it's very civilized there.
Exactly. Exactly. And let's go ahead and roll another one. And here's one from Josh. Who or what inspired you to become an actor?
Well, you know what? I wasn't really inspired to become an actor. I fell into acting by chance. My grandmother heard a radio announcement looking for short actors to be in the latest Star Wars installment, Return of the Jedi, to play Ewoks. And she mentioned this radio announcement to my mum, who called the studio, and they said, well, you know what? We've got everyone we need. And my mum managed to persuade them somehow to see me. So I went up to Elstree Studios in London, where they make the movies. And I was interviewed by a secretary who said, do you want to play an Ewok? I said, yeah. And she said, do you love Star Wars? I said, yeah. She said, okay, that's enough for me. Go get yourself measured up for a costume. And that was it. That's how I got into Star Wars. And ever since then, I've kind of loved performing and acting and being part of the movie industry. So that's how it started. I mean, obviously, I've had inspiration along the way, having worked with all the actors I've worked with. But to start with, I fell into it by chance.
Yeah, there you go.
And my kids are going to say my father inspired me. I know they are.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you've grown up with it, like we've been lucky enough to, when you visit sets, you can't help but sort of think, wow, this is a really cool place to come and then work, because it doesn't feel like working at all. So, yeah, 100%, because we've grown up with it watching Dad. So.
And then you find out it is work when you start doing it.
Yeah. No, honestly, I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. So, Harrison, so say done some gaming, whether from your broadcasting and gaming or anything else. What's been your inspiration?
I'm not sure. It's more like what our dad, like, as I watched Dad do it, it's sort of like, I know it just became more like, yeah, I think this is something what I want to do. It just seemed very fun visiting set and see Dad on the stage doing it.
Yeah.
Who's inspired you on YouTube? Who are your YouTube heroes, Harrison?
Yeah.
I quite like the Sidemen, like KSI and that. Dan TVM I used to watch a lot. He's the one that made me start in me to create my own channel. And yeah.
And you met Dan, didn't you, years ago as well, which was cool.
Yeah. There's a blog on that on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome. Very awesome. And what is your YouTube channel called, so our audience knows?
It's Harrison X Gamer Dave. Harrison X Gamer. Yeah.
Harrison X Gamer.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
One word.
Although he's still gaming, even though he's an ex-gamer.
Yeah. Indeed. So, Josh, thank you. Very fun question. What do we have next? Hey, here's one from Justin. Which actor would you love to have a chance to work with?
Hello, Justin. Thanks for this question. For me, it's Will Ferrell. I'm a particular fan of his work. He's just a funny guy. Just look at him and he's funny. He's got a funny face. He's got a funny, kind of funny demeanor about him.
Yeah.
John Candy was another comedy hero of mine. I'd love to have had the chance to work with John. So yeah, for me, it's definitely Will Ferrell at this point. I'd love to work with him.
That would be a fun combination.
Indeed, it would. Yeah. What about you, Annabelle?
I don't know. I'm kind of think off the top of my head. I really like Phoebe Waller-Bridge and all the stuff that she's done. And Vera Farmiga, I watched her in Bates Motel and just loved
She's
the way that
amazing.
she played Norma. So yeah, I mean, I'd just love to meet those two people, like for a start, but then to work with them would be insane. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Harrison, any actor you'd like to work with or actress?
Either Karen Egerton or someone like Jim Carrey.
Ooh.
Oh, really? Wow.
Very cool.
Is Jim Carrey still acting? Has he retired?
Yeah, he's still. It's sort of. He bounces around. He's mercurial.
Okay, good, excellent.
We agree about that way too. And Justin, thank you. Very fun one. And what do we have next? And here's one from Will. Which character that you've played do you feel you relate to the most?
Okay, Will, thank you very much. I don't know whether you've seen my series Life's Too Short. I guess I relate to Warwick in Life's Too Short quite a lot.
Yeah.
Although I think I'm a bit nicer than he is. I'm a little less bitter about the business than Warwick in Life's Too Short. But I kind of relate to his attitude sometimes. And like when life kind of gets on top of you and feels like it's getting the better of you. So I can relate to him in that. I don't feel I relate to any of the Ewok characters, though, particularly. It's a very good question, this. It's deep, isn't it, guys?
I feel like for me,
Annabelle.
it's got to be Sasha, just because, I don't know, the other characters I played are cool, but I don't feel like I really have any similarities to them at all.
Well, you can't relate to a fighting droid.
No,
Yeah.
not particularly, but Sasha, like, the show, the producers sort of learn about what you're into and your other skills, and one of mine is art, so Sasha then became an artist, and they sort of bring in little aspects of you into the character. She's a lot more angry than me and stuff, and I think again, like that, I'm a little bit of a nicer vein. I feel like Sasha's like my angry big sister, but I can still relate a lot to her. So.
She is a tornado in that show, isn't she?
Yeah.
Sasha's the Annabelle that we see at breakfast time.
Wow. I can't argue with that though.
First thing in the morning. Oof.
Indeed. So, Harrison, how about you? Is there do you feel a connection to?
I think Comet was quite a fun character to play. I know he just seemed quite a jolly person to be. Yeah.
Although the way you hoard your money, you're not unlike a goblin, Harrison, I will say. He gets given all this cash for his birthday, and we never see it again. He never spends it.
Never spends it.
Hides it away like a true Gringotts goblin.
There you go. That'll work. That makes him a wiser young man than I was at his age. I'll tell you that. Will, thank you. That was a wonderful question.
Thank you, Will.
What's next? And from Matthew, to piggyback on the Star Wars question, if you could spend one day living in the Harry Potter world, where would you go?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, 100% Diagon Alley. I mean, I love shopping. I'd love to go down there. Yeah, 100%.
That's a really great question. Let's think of all the Harry Potter places. I don't think I want to be going to Azkaban particularly, do I?
No.
Miserable place. Okay, I'd love to ride the Hogwarts Express. You want to go on the Night's Bus?
Yeah,
Okay.
the night bus is my favourite out of all the Harry Potter. That's like my favourite sequence. It just looks like fun.
You get a bit car sick, don't you? Or bus sick. And let's think about that. Yeah, that's a good one, Annabelle. I think I'd like to go on the Hogwarts Express and go to Hogwarts and be greeted by Hagrid as I arrive.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah, and
nice.
on the boats then to the castle's quite cool. I love boats.
Yeah, there's a lot. Harrison, how about you? Where would you go?
Things kind of thing. It's not so much a place, but it's cool to see, like, be in the flying car like,
Oh,
and going by the train. Yeah, I think the Forbidden Forest would be quite a cool place to go and see and be in that environment. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something else. I'm the only person to ever done one thing. The only person to have ever ridden a Segway around Privet Drive. And also the only person to ever driven a Segway around the Great Hall as well.
Oh, wow.
No one else has done that, and no one else can ever say they've done that.
that's pretty cool.
Very true, very true.
And I believe the video that I shot while doing that little tour on my Segway is actually on one of the DVDs as an extra feature.
Oh, wow.
They kind of slightly speeded it up. I went around the whole studio and did a little tour with the camera. Because they actually gave the cast video cameras to make sort of video diaries. And I decided that's what I wanted to do a Segway tour around the studios and sets.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. Thank you for that, Matthew. And for my 2 cents, I'd love to go Ollivanders just because my best friend and housemate at Universal helps the one keeper of the Ollivanders in that attraction. So.
Oh, I love that when you get chosen for your wand.
Me
It's an
too.
amazing experience, isn't it? It's
Oh,
fabulous.
yeah.
And right outside that shop, I've got an amazing picture of Annabelle and Harrison having a wand duel with Michael Gambon, aka Professor Dumbledore.
Yeah.
That was very
Fantastic, isn't it? It's a great picture.
A wonderful actor. God, I just have to talk about it. Yeah, absolutely. Matthew, thank you very much for that. I think we have time for one more question, and our producers let me know we got a really good one to go out on. And this comes from Glenn. Out of all the projects you have worked on, what has been your favorite?
Thank you, Glenn. I mean, for me, it has to be Star Wars Return of the Jedi. It was the first movie I ever did, and I still look at it back very fondly. And without it, I wouldn't have been an actor. So I look at the character of Wicket very fondly, and also that movie. And having been a fan of Star Wars since I was 7, to actually be a part of that Star Wars galaxy now is such a privilege and an honor. And I do feel very lucky, and I'm still a fan today as well. And I'm excited every time I get a call to go back to that galaxy far, far away once again. It's terrific. Really love it. Thank you, Glenn, very much. Thank you.
I think for me, it's probably the dumping ground, just because of how long I've been on it. I'm on my 7th year this year, so
Wow.
it's such a big part of my life, and I spend 6-7 months of the year away from home filming it, so they're sort of my second family.
Yeah.
So just for that reason, dumping ground.
Oh, yes, of course. Ed, Harrison, bring us home. What's been your favorite thing that you've worked on?
I think I'm gonna say Jack the Giant Slayer because I know it's quite fun. I remember I would be eaten by a giant, but then I would be in a harness and get lifted right up in the air, and it was just a really fun time to be, because it was like I'd be lifted up, rolled around in this harness, and yeah, I just need to really like filming that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so that sequence is at the beginning of the movie. There's a play that kind of illustrates where the giants live and what they're going to do to the village. And Harrison plays one of the villagers against a very tall 6'7" actor who's playing one of the giants. And so Harrison gets lifted up and pretended to be eaten, which is great.
Oh my!
And I actually directed that sequence of the film. Which was exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, very, very nice, very nice. Okay, he's going to eat you. Well, not really, but you get it. Davis, this has been an absolute delight. Any final words for our audience before we go backstage?
No, thanks for all your great questions, and also thanks for being fans of the projects that we've been involved with as well. And everybody out there, stay safe, and look forward to seeing you in person one day very soon.
Thank you.
May the force be with you all.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It's been my absolute pleasure to serve you today. Once again, thank you for joining us on the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Thank you again to our audience for joining us, and thank you for those great questions. Hope to see you all again soon. Until then,
Thank you,
bye-bye,
Patty.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Warwick.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone, and please keep washing those hands.